Mr. President, Madam Pereira, honourable members, Commissioner, thank you for this question that touches upon a very relevant issue. Last month, Europe suffered its deadliest flash flood in over half a century in Valencia, with more than 200 lives lost and many still missing. I would like to take this opportunity to extend my deepest sympathies to the families of the victims of this terrible tragedy and to those who have lost their homes and businesses as a result of the flooding. This tragedy once again serves as a reminder that climate change is a serious existential threat to humanity, and further global efforts are needed to address climate change challenges and enhance resilience. Last week, Budapest hosted the summit of the European political community and the informal European Council, during which European leaders adopted the Budapest Declaration on the new European Competitiveness Deal, which will also shape the EU's approach to climate, and hopefully it will improve our preparedness to cope with the challenges of our changing climate, since competitiveness and climate protection go hand in hand. We have to make Europe more competitive and approach climate protection with this vision also. COP29 started 2 days ago, and we are actively working towards defending the EU's position in negotiations and achieving a successful and balanced outcome in Baku. The key focus of COP29 is on climate finance, with the new collective quantified goal at the heart of negotiations. Climate finance is crucial to fulfil the long-term goals of the Paris Agreement and to implement the global stocktake decision taken at the COP last year. The EU is deeply involved in the discussion on this new collective quantified goal. The new collective quantified goal must be fit for purpose to meet the challenges ahead of us, by also remaining realistic and reflective on the economic capabilities of parties to contribute to global efforts to support countries most in need. To this end, the Council, in its COP29 conclusions, has underlined the need for a broad and transformative approach in designing the new goal as part of a global climate finance network. All sources of finance, domestic and international, public and private, are complementary and mutually supportive, and the different combinations of financing modalities should be considered. In this regard, we consider that the new collective quantified goal should be multi-layered, with a core consisting of public finance provided and mobilized, and an outer layer encompassing broader investment flows. Public climate finance is crucial to support vulnerable countries and communities. Another priority in Baku is accelerating action and support for climate adaptation. At COP29, the EU will underline the importance of implementing the United Arab Emirates framework for global climate resilience to guide adaptation efforts. We are committed to implementing the framework both in domestic efforts and in international cooperation, and to reach a positive outcome on the assessment of national adaptation plans. As the largest provider of adaptation support internationally, the EU recognizes the importance of public climate finance for adaptation. The Council is determined to respond to the urge of doubling the collective provision of climate finance for adaptation from developed countries to developing countries by 2025, compared with 2019 levels. I would now like to turn to the important topic of nationally determined contributions, or NDCs. While the EU's share in global emissions is only 6% and is constantly decreasing, the EU has managed to significantly decrease its emissions. Meanwhile, global emissions increased. We therefore need adequate global integration efforts, as the EU is not capable of solving climate change on its own. The next round of NDCs is due next year in 2025. We will use COP29 to emphasize that these need to reflect progress at the highest possible ambition. They should be aligned with the global stocktake decisions and with the 1.5 Celsius degree temperature goal of the Paris Agreement. We will also be calling for the swift, ambitious implementation and scaling up of NDCs. The EU is working with partner countries, development partners and international organizations to this end. Finally, we are very much hoping for a swift and good agreement in Baku that encourages ambition and contributes to the long-term goals of the Paris Agreement. To conclude, Hungary, as Council Presidency, together with the Commission and in coordination with all Member States, are working towards an ambitious and balanced outcome in Baku, which keeps the 1.5 Celsius temperature goal within reach, moves us toward long-term resilience, and agrees an effective, achievable and ambitious new collective quantified goal. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zsigmond. Now I give the floor to Commissioner Hoekstra